Ange. Et tes jambes. Poisson Steve.
Hello, I'm Alex.
I'm James.
And I'm Dan.
We're the Ragamuffins, and this is episode 54 of the Ragamuffin Music Podcast, a place for us to talk about the music that we love.
On this episode, we'll be reviewing brand new songs from Loathe and King 810, as well as the new albums from Pup and Landmvrks.
I will be ranking slam dunk lineups in the ultimate tier list.
But before we start, you may notice some lovely t-shirts that we're wearing. We are now sponsored by Broken Day Clothing. If you didn't see all the news last week, you can use code Ragamuffins20 for 20% off all orders over £40. We've got lovely variants in tees. A lot of their clothing is inspired by music, inspired by nostalgia, inspired by horror.
Yeah. I mean, look at Alex. He's got like a Master of Puppets t-shirt on. That's super cool.
Looks banging.
Sick as fuck.
Go get your t-shirts. There'll be a link in the description below. And just look sick for festival season.
Let's get into the latest releases.
King 810 are back with a brand new song, Rust Belt New Metal. I'll kick it off. I really like it. It's been a while since I've kind of listened to King 810 and I have much more nostalgia for their older music. I haven't really been keeping up to what they've been doing recently. I know there's been some kind of, I think, concept EPs and they've been kind of really testing the variants in their sound. But this to me just sounds like old school King. It sounds like heavy as hell. Slamming riffs, slamming drums. You've kind of got David Gunn's unique vocal sound, which is so iconic and different from anyone else. And it's kind of really bring me back into wanting to listen to King. And they've just announced a new show down the road in Oxford later this year. I think I'm going to have to go.
Yeah, I think this does, like you say, it sounds like a throwback to their old sound, but also it's bringing something new for them in as well. New in the form of new metal. I know they've always kind of straddled kind of the genre boundaries there, I suppose.
Yeah.
And play with the new metal sound a bit, but they've really lent into it a bit more in this one. It feels like a bit of a Korn kind of throwback.
Definitely.
Something I really like, which I know a lot of people probably won't like, is some of the production on the drums on this. It weirdly, the best way I can describe it is it sounds like you're listening to someone playing drums in like the next practice room over.
Yeah.
Because it's almost slightly muffled and like slightly pulled back in the mix compared to everything else. But I kind of like that vibe. It's obviously like an artistic choice and like a deliberate thing. But I actually kind of really like that.
I think it's a very catchy song as well. Like, just thinking about it, I can hear kind of Rust Belt just being said with David Gunn's voice and the guitars underneath. Very, very catchy. Very much something that sticks in your head, I think, on listening to it.
Finally, we've been waiting a long time for this. Loathe have released new music.
Woo!
Never thought I'd see the day.
And I've forgotten the name of the song.
Gifted Every Strength.
Gifted Every Strength. And they've gifted us with this strong return, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, listen. I'll be honest. It took me about 7 listens for this to click with me.
You're counting them.
And that's about 45 minutes.
Yeah. And I would probably say the first 4 of them were just back to back. And let me tell you this, the first 6 times I listened to this, I did not like it. I didn't get it. I didn't like the mix. I didn't like the structure. I just was like, I've waited years for this. And it wasn't even like a gradual thing. It was literally like something switched within me. And on the 7th listen, I was like, oh, I get it. What am I talking about? I'm an idiot. I'm an actual full-blown idiot. I think it's, really sort of inventive and innovative, and we talk a lot about metalcore or if you do want to class them as a metalcore band, but that genre being quite stale and predictable and very sort of formulaic. And I think for a band like this to do something that has a very complex and kind of, I don't want to say meandering in a bad way, but a structure that seems to sort of follow its own path. Almost like the band aren't even in charge. It's like the song is taking them through the journey. I think the mix is kind of interesting. The vocals are kind of a bit buried, but in a good way. I could see how people, and I had the thoughts in my first few listens being maybe a bit averse to that. But I think overall, this is a band that are like clearly pushing the boundaries of what they can do and what heavy music can do. So I think this is a very strong return.
I think on your point, like the one negative I have on it for the most part is that vocal mix. For me, it does seem quite buried, but I think after repeat listens, I'm just kind of used to that and just like, okay, it is what it is. I love that, like, kind of you get into the start off the MIDI intro and you just have that familiar Loathe guitar tone that's so bassy, it's so heavy, and it's like, okay, I've been missing new music from this band in particular, and I like that it doesn't have the normal structure. The experimental side of this song really gives it much more of the appeal to me. It just feels like pushing the boundaries, trying to do something new, and I absolutely love it. Makes me extremely excited. As much as we would have all been excited for new Loathe, this makes me extremely excited to know they've definitely been spending time on all of this. What's the rest of the album going to shape up to?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was pretty similar to Alex when I first listened to it. Like, it didn't take me as long to get into it, but the first listen, at least, I was like, okay, well, that's a song. That happened. But I think there's just so much going on. It goes down so many different avenues and takes you down like to so many different places, like sonically, that it did take me a couple of listens to really kind of understand what was fully going on. But now that I do, I think it's great. I think it's a really strong comeback. And I think although it doesn't feel like a typical single in the sense that it doesn't really have like any particular hook in the form of any like. This is like the wrong way of putting it, but like, there isn't a particularly memorable guitar riff or like a vocal like line or anything that's going to hook you in. But it showcases that, okay, Loathe are still serious about this. Loathe are going to like still be pushing boundaries and still innovating, I guess. Because a lot of their previous work was credited to Connor Sweeney, who's obviously no longer in the band. So this is a good example of Loathe going, well, no, we can do this without him. We are doing good stuff. And I'm really excited to see where they go with the rest of the album.
Do you want to point out some of the drum grooves that are used without it as well? Like the syncopation that's done with it are extremely exciting and were one of the first things that I picked out in particular listening to it. Just the way it's crafted amongst the rest of the music is something especially unique, and it was just kind of making me think that the drumming on most Loathe anyway is very specific to them and different. You can't really compare it to many other bands, but this again, it just feels like it's pushing boundaries, and I'm extremely excited by it.
Moving on now, we've got the first of our 2 albums this episode, and that is Pup with Who Will Look After the Dogs. Who indeed?
Who?
Brilliant.
Has to be done. Go on, Dan.
Firstly, potential for album artwork of the year. Fucking adorable. Dogs driving a car. One of them's leaning out the window. Yeah, I've got the vinyl as well, and the inside of the gatefold is loads of dogs at the beach, which is just adorable as well. And yeah, long-term Pup fan here. Wasn't massively keen on their previous album, The Unravelling of Pup Bound Inc. So I was really intrigued as to how this one would go. And it's a weird one. Again, it's taken me a couple of listens, as most Pup albums do, to kind of really gel with it and pick out some songs that I fully like. But I think the difference with this new album compared to a lot of their previous efforts is there isn't really like a big standout song that like really like catches your attention or does something new and different. On The Unravelling, they had songs like Matilda and Robot Writes a Love Song, which just did like the like the lead guitar lines and stuff on some of those songs just like really captivate you. And I think that's what this album is missing, is that although there isn't necessarily a couple of big songs that really grab you, the consistency throughout the whole album just stays at a really strong level all the way through. I think pretty much every chorus on every single song is memorable after like 1 or 2 listens. Particularly later on in the album, Best Revenge. I think that's like a possibly all-time Pup song. Like that's an easy like top 5 for me. I think that song, that like melody in the chorus, I think I will take to my grave with me. It's just so catchy and fun on what is overall quite a doom and gloom and rock bottom album. It seems like it's very personal to Stefan. Clearly about like his divorce and the end of a long-term relationship and his, I guess, existentialism that comes with it of what you do next. So I'm sure it's going to be a very personal album to him. But yeah, I just think it's a really strong album from front to back. I think I'll love it more the more I listen to it. And to be honest, there isn't, although like I said, there isn't a huge song on there. I think from front to back, there's no bad songs either.
I think I spent a bit of time listening to it. They were never been a band that have like pulled me in necessarily. I did find there was a lot better music within this for me. I agree with kind of part of what you were saying. It feels like a very cohesive album, and everything seems to make sense throughout it. However, I found some of it quite repetitive, I'm afraid. And for 13 songs as well, it found at times like I had to take breaks when listening to it. There are some songs that stood out. I think I remember Paranoid being one.
Yeah, that's the singles. Like
they were
definitely the strongest songs.
I think. So I did really try to spend time with it, but I did find that the album length in particular was quite a bit of a drawback for me. Sadly. Yeah.
Dogs, though.
Dogs.
We're moving on to an album of the year contender. Finally, James can shut the fuck up about waiting for Landmarks because it's here.
Well, now he's not going to shut up about talking about the new Landmarks album.
Well, then get on with it, James.
Do I start first?
Yes. Actually, no. Let's make him wait.
Yeah, let's leave him to the end.
Go on,
Yeah,
go on, you boys. Go for it.
This is, well, first of all, their best album. And second of all, like I mentioned earlier, we talk about metalcore maybe sometimes being predictable as a genre. This is a flawless execution of how to step outside the box.
Yep.
The things that they're pulling in, obviously it is at its core a metalcore album, and they are a metalcore band, but the things that they're pulling into this album from outside of the genre is what make it so good. The rapping, the chiller stuff. I would even go as far as to say there's like death and black metal elements, like particularly on the intro as well, when that blast beat kicks in. That's like a black metal fucking moment. I think it's just a flawless album. Like as a collection, like the singles were all fantastic, and again, the singles themselves offered very different insights into where this band is at now. But the rest of the album sort of follows through on like the promise that the singles made, is that you're going to get no two songs that sound the same on this album, but at the same time, nothing ever feels too far away from each other. Everything is within a world, but it's a full exploration of that world, if that makes sense. I do still think that the standout songs are probably the singles for me. Creature was like, I think, my song of the year last year. I think Sombra 16 and A Line in the Dust are also just absolute raging bangers, but the whole thing front to back. If you've got even a casual passing interest in metalcore, you have to listen to this album.
Well, as someone that has always had a casual passing interest in Landmarks, despite really enjoying the singles, thinking they were really, really good, I'm probably as close on this podcast to being a neutral Landmarks fan as you can be, but I think this album's stunning. I think this is fucking brilliant. It's certainly going to be a contender for album of the year, and honestly, that opening track is probably the most times I've repeated a song after listening to an album, because it just gets you so hyped up. It's got to be a set opener when they play Slam Dunk. I really hope it is, because I just love like the deathcore blast beats, and then going into almost like the hardcore, shouting out your own band name in the year, like Your Demise used to do.
Yeah,
I just fucking love it. And then again, the diversity just across the album is brilliant. Like if you like any kind of heavy music, there's going to be something on this album for you, even if it's not every single song. There'll certainly be at least one song or aspects of a song that you'll love on here. Aside from the singles, I think Le Vol du Temps just is a stunning song. I love it.
Stunning pronunciation, by the way.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Someone's been doing their Duolingo.
Bon. Merci. Yeah, love it. That song in particular is the main one. That and the opener are the ones that really got the repeat listens out of me. But I still am revisiting the album again and again as well. I love it. I think it's excellent.
I think a lot of
KBM.
a lot of the attention this year is going to be on Spirit Box, rightfully so, and Architects with their album. As far as when you look at metalcore, this album deserves as much, arguably more recognition than I think than either of those albums. That's not to discredit those albums because I think they're both good. I think this is a better album, and currently, album of the year, pending what happens the rest of this week, which is Sleep Token release week. If you're not sure,
I've been waiting to talk about this since Creature came out last January. It's everything I wanted and more out of this album.
You sound like you're gonna cry.
Oh, I'm so happy. It'll be happy tears. Happy tears. It's an extremely cohesive album, yet is so different, like you said, with the variants in the songs and there's so many different elements within it. And I think that's always been something they've displayed in prior works, especially during Lost in a Wave, but it's just really been pushed to the max here. And that experimentation makes them stand out in, like we've said, an extremely saturated metalcore market you can get. For me, this is a no-skip album. I think every song provides something different where you're talking either about those kind of hardcore and deathcore elements to bringing in the rap sections, even Funeral at the end with just flow and a piano is an absolutely beautiful way to kind of cap off the album. I want to look into it more in depth with it, but it is a concept album as you can kind of follow through parts of it with all the music videos, which I think has also been a tremendous promotional thing they've been doing with this album. The storylines they've been doing with it have been incredibly engaging, and they've kind of talked a bit in interviews about it. So I do want to look into it more. The vinyl is gorgeous. It arrived and
it's shiny.
It's very, very shiny, very, very beautiful. It just, to me, this just displays all the bands at like 110%. The variance in Flo's vocals, he is by far one of the most talented vocalists in heavy and alternative music with the variance in his styles. Kevin's drumming, like hearing some of these blast beats that are coming in, and then just the other grooves where he can kind of chill back and set the tempo of a song. Absolutely phenomenal. The riffs are amazing. The guitar tones are great. They know how to structure a song. I could just keep talking about this for days. The emotion in some of the lyrics and the delivery of them, like there's parts in Blood Red where you kind of really feel that emotion as he builds from the singing into the screams. It just caps off everything. There's a lot of good albums still to come out this year, and there's ones that I'm really looking forward to. I can't see anything topping this as album of the year for me, to be honest. It's perfect. I love it, and I'm just so happy that my expectations were even just fucking exceeded. And Requiem is such a fucking banger. I'll be walking around and I'll just be like doing my own guttural with headphones on, and people walking by me must be thinking, what the fuck is he doing? And although, yes, it's now come out and I can't talk about it every week, I'm excited by it. Best believe I'll be talking about it constantly still.
Yeah, we've got awards at the end of the year, so if you want to make the easiest 20 quid of your life, you bet on James to make this album of the year.
It's basically who's contending for number 2. And I can't wait to see them at Slam Dunk in a few weeks. Oh my God.
Enough about that. We got to look to the future. New music.
New music. Let me tell you about some
music.
What I will tell you is there are a hell of a lot of albums coming out in the next 2 weeks of our podcast.
My goodness. I've glanced at the graphic and there's quite a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. We've got Sleep Token, Evening in Arcadia, The Wonder Years, Burst into K Volume 3, Behemoth, The Shit of God, Buried Tomorrow, Will You Haunt Me With That Same Patience, The Calistel Boys, I Don't Want to See You in Heaven, Arm's Length, There's a Whole World Out There, and Linkin Park with the deluxe version of From Zero.
Wow.
I mean,
that's crazy.
I think I know which one both of you are most excited for in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, there's 2 of my favourite bands in there.
Arm's Length and Sleep Token? Oh, Wonder Years.
The Wonder
what am I on
Years,
about?
man.
The Wonder Years.
Although that one is just like an acoustic version of, like an acoustic EP of some of their other songs, which is going to be great. It sounds like they've really upped the production on this one and put a lot of effort into it. But obviously, Arm's Length is going to be great, and Sleep Token is Sleep Token in it. You know how it is.
That's arguably one of the most stacked months we've had in quite some time.
Stacked 2 weeks
Oh fuck.
between now and next podcast.
Oh shit. Sleep Token in it.
I have a really strong feeling that they've held back some really good stuff for the album release. Because although Take Me Back to Eden was a masterpiece in my opinion, we kind of had half the album before it was out. Like the first 6 tracks I think were already released.
Yeah, and
Whereas this time round, only the 3 singles.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like we're going to get another one before the album's released. So that leaves another 7 songs that we're yet to hear. Some of them are 8 minutes long.
Maybe on album release day, a lot of bands seem to do that now.
Yeah, but you've already listened to the album by that point, haven't you?
Exactly.
So
I
that
find it
doesn't
a pointless situation to put something out on release day, to be honest.
So yeah, I have a strong feeling that they've held something really special back for the actual release of the album.
I'm most looking forward to the Bury Tomorrow album.
Oh, wow.
The singles they've been putting out have been amazing, and I think pushing the boundaries of things they've done before and been really exciting. And so I'm looking forward to kind of hearing that as a collective, as something a little bit different than just Sleep Token. Let us know down below what you're most excited for. There's a lot of albums coming out. A lot of good music.
Busy.
Busy.
No gig talk this time.
No gigs.
We've been busy, boys.
But that's because
No
we're
gigs.
preparing ourselves for festival season.
Hell yeah.
And you can too. We have 4 years worth of Slam Dunk Festival vlogs on our channel right now to watch. So whether you've never been before and you want to know what it's like, or you have been and you just want to relive some of that magic before you go, you can check them out. We'll probably put a playlist in the description of this video. But we're going to march on to our discussion this week, which is going to be a tier listing every Slam Dunk lineup so far.
So we're going to start right at the beginning of time for Slam Dunk. In 2006, they had their first iteration, just in Leeds. It was
I
just one
love
day.
Slam Dunk 3 BC.
They had their first iteration. Fallout Boy was the headline. Let's kick it off.
It's massive, isn't it?
Like, it's pretty big.
For that time, they must have just released Infinity on High.
Mm-hmm.
I would believe.
I mean, for me, that there isn't really bands on there that I listen to. I'm going to be honest. I know some Fallout Boy because everyone kind of knows some Fallout Boy when you grow up in alternative scene.
I mean, look, it's not us, but I think we can all respect what's there. It's very good.
It started Slam Dunk and obviously would have been successful enough for it to keep going.
Yeah.
Therefore,
However, I would argue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bands does not a festival make.
That's a gig.
That's a big gig.
Yeah, it's a gig.
Therefore, C tier?
I think that's fair.
Mm.
I think that's fair.
Are we starting quite high there? I suppose D's the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is the bottom.
And I feel like
Yeah.
there's going to be
Fallout
something.
Boy at least does pulls it out of D, doesn't it?
I think so. So 2006, we're going D tier. Sorry, we're going C tier.
Oh, hello.
I
I saw. Did you guys see that tweet where someone was like, "What's the best cover you've ever heard?" And someone said, "Real Big Fish."
that take on
It
me.
is a banger.
I just remember.
Yeah, but the best cover you've ever heard. Come on.
I just remember.
Download Festival 2019.
Exactly, we had that as
first
the
song
wake-up
every
call.
morning. I might bring that tradition back this year.
Let's do
You
it.
know,
Genuinely, the closest I've ever come to lamping you on.
me.
Yeah.
Me.
I'm pretty sure it's me that played it.
Little old me. Who'd want to laugh?
Who was playing it?
I think it was me.
Oh,
It was,
fuck.
it was,
I've
it was
got-
both
I've got-
of us.
Well, you
It
were
was-
guilty by
It
association.
was definitely a team effort.
I've got a video of you one of the mornings waking up with it. Like, you're stood up and you've got your Mario hat on.
Yeah.
We're,
Oh my
we're
God.
inside the
I
tent.
believe I also had a towel around me because it was a soggy festival.
Yeah.
That
That
one.
was a soggy one.
That was a rough one, and it's just you just being like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's genuinely torturous.
So on the back of that,
Anyway, Slam Dunk Festival.
At this point, we're still just one day, and we're still just in Leeds.
And I don't think this is as big of a lineup as
No.
Fall Out Boy 1.
Paramore in 2007 would be just before Brand New Eyes.
You've
That's
got
huge.
Yumi at 6.
that's what I was about
Open
to
the
say.
day.
Opening that up
Yeah.
at that stage.
We'll come back to that later. Because they're going to move up the lineup.
I'm just going to
Yeah.
fact check myself.
I got you.
Failsafe, is that the band that was on the In-Betweeners?
I don't know.
I mean, Riot was 2007, so it was just as... This was... Wait, hang on, when's this? May?
This is right before
Fuck me,
Riot.
Riot hasn't even come out yet.
Mhm.
This is a month before Riot come out, so maybe we had probably the singles. Listen, no amount of Paramore's saving the rest of that. Sorry, that's D tier, if ever I've seen it.
I think I can go with that.
Sorry, Paramore, you're one of my favourite bands of all time, but...
2008.
Hello.
We have multiple stages for the first time.
Yes. Epic win.
And so, like, there's lots of notable names on here. You see Yumi at 6 back here again, and obviously have moved up the bill. Fight Star, The Blackout, We Are the Ocean. These are names. Good old Attack with that
These
title.
are
These
are
are
band
band
names.
They're notable names.
I feel like this is... We're seeing here the first hint where Slam Dunk have started booking collective stages.
Yeah, for sure. I really like that Attica stage.
Yep.
Yes.
Story of the Year is a throwback. Like, I've not listened to them in years, but I suddenly have the urge to listen to them again after seeing their name.
That Glamour Kill
Fight
stage.
Star and The Blackout. There's Flood of Red and We Are the Ocean, who are bands that I was massively into, like, back around this time. So this is great. I'd buy a ticket to this.
This feels like, you know...
We're
We're
getting there.
getting there.
We're
We're
making
finding our
progress.
feet now.
Yeah.
But is it high enough for like a B tier?
I think that's B tier.
You think that's B tier?
I think that
it's
shows...
B.
It shows we're
It's at the very least a high C, so let's at least put it in B for now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
we can
I'll go
always,
with
we can always
majority.
move it later.
2009.
Okay.
We're still just in Leeds. We're still just staying in Leeds. We haven't made the diversion
Who's
south yet.
Justin Leeds?
There's going to
Notable.
be someone.
Notable. Yumi at 6 have now headlined.
Yeah.
How many fucking lineups have they already been on this far?
This is their third in a row.
Jesus Christ. To be fair, they were undeniable at this time, weren't they? Late 2000s.
Mhm.
Fucking Christ. What a run.
And we've got Attack on here again. We've got Blackout again. We Are the Ocean again. So there's a lot of the repeats from the past year. Have got some new ones in. You've got Hollywood and Dead coming in on there.
Devil Soul is Soul down there on the Drop Dead stage.
Anti-Flag making their first appearance. I feel like
good.
there's good names, but it
It's
isn't
not
a
quite-
great...
It's not quite Carling, is it?
No, it's not the lineup that would get me there, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, but you got to think at the time. The
Canterbury.
Blackout 2009. Are you
I think
joking me?
But
Canterbury
this is
down
coming
there.
from our personal perspective as well.
True.
It's all objective.
You know what? This is already making me think we need to move 2008 back down to C,
Why? Where's this going?
because this is B.
You reckon?
Really?
Yeah, this is B, but I think it's better than 2008.
I don't think this is better than the year we just saw.
No, neither do I.
Bigger, sure.
It's so much better.
I'm still not fussed by this at the moment.
It's got basically the same bands on as the last lineup, but more.
All right, let's put this in B then.
And you want to move which one to C?
I think maybe 08 goes down to C.
Go with it.
I'm
We'll go with
just
it.
thinking towards the future. I don't want to overrate these lineups too soon.
That's fine. 2010.
Hello. Now we're talking.
We now have our first time. We've got 2 different days
No,
coming
this,
on here.
this is stacked.
So, Christ, Newfound Glory, 4 years strong, straight away there. That stands out. Alkaline Trio making their first appearance. They're there again this
With
year.
Against Me as well.
Yep.
Rolo Tomasi on that stage is sick.
We've got Skin Dread on there.
Your Demise.
Death Havana on the Kerrang Fresh Blood stage.
This is strong B tier.
Yeah, I can go with that.
So no, I think we're going strong too early here.
The Wonder Years.
Wow.
That must sway you.
It's good. It is good. Your Demise.
I think this is the best one we've seen so far.
I think this is the best one we've seen so
Okay,
far.
that's fine. So we reckon
B tier for 2010.
B. That's
B,
fine.
yeah.
So, we ain't reaching the A.
We're not reaching
tier
A
yet,
tier yet.
let alone S. We're getting there. I feel like we're getting there. Now, this is really starting to define the stages.
Interesting. Look, the days swapped around.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that interesting.
Controversial. It's not controversial.
Do dare
I will say
this is a step down.
This is weaker.
This is weaker. I
While
mean,
while she sleeps are there.
that's the highlight I pulled from this in particular. We've got Sleeps on there and Bury Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Oh, I've just seen that as a back-to-back. That's quite nice.
But neither band are in there, are even close to their
No,
peak at this point.
no, of course
No.
not.
You know, listen, I
Who's on the
respect
Fresh
these.
Blood
I
stage?
respect the bookings. Less than Jake, Real Big Fish,
hold
303.
up.
I got no issue.
Lower than
Lower
Atlantis.
than Atlantis
Don
bursting
Broco.
onto the scene. I say bursting onto the scene. They've been around a little while at this point, I think.
It's like subtle. Once you start looking at it more, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, actually, that's better than I thought it was. I would kind of definitely be like strong C.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think C is fine. Yeah.
We're going to have everyone commenting that we're just being very harsh.
2011. C.
Okay. 2012. Right, we got Architects, we got Gallows, Charlie Simpson doing his own set, Every Time I Die, Cancer Bat, Sleeps, Of Mice and Men, Lower Than Atlantis, Don Broco, Story So Far, Word Alive, Icy Stars Upon a Burning Body.
It feels like the scene is really building at this point. It's getting strong.
I think this is the best one we've seen so far.
You've got bands like Welsh Sleeps and Architects like climbing up the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the Welsh counterparts in Funeral for a Friend and the Blackout.
Mm-hmm.
Those Welsh counterparts is in two bands that are Welsh, not
Welsh counterparts.
Not counterparts, but Welsh.
Just picturing Brendan Murphy just in a Welsh accent.
You've got nothing left to love.
I would say this is the best lineup we've seen so far. UABB are on there. We've got some deathcore represented.
Fuck, I reckon we might be looking at.
I'd have gone to this.
We can always move them, but I think that's an A
I got
tier.
excited about Hadouken, but it's just a DJ set.
I would say this
That's
is
still
A tier.
cool.
Yeah.
This is A tier for me.
I don't know if we're if
Are
we
we-
put this in A, we're not really giving ourselves anywhere to go. I think
We've still got the S
The
tier.
rest
I
of
still
them.
we're
For
still
the,
the
for the
S tier.
absolute bangers.
maybe
I think. Do you agree with me? I think this is the best lineup so far.
Yes.
yeah, I suppose so.
So therefore, at least needs to go into B, where it be at the top
Yeah.
end. But I feel like this could.
Let's
we
stick
can move it down.
Let's stick it in A.
Let's stick it
in A for now.
2013.
3 days.
Yep, we've got
3 days.
Midlands.
We've got Midlands. Rest in peace.
Love you, Midlands.
I miss you, Midlands. And again, very much
Fucking
defined by.
Slam Dunk Scotland there as well.
Yeah, Slam Dunk Wales, Slam Dunk Ireland.
That's cool.
Okay.
And that lineup for
Fucking
that
hell.
one as well. Sorry, I just need to lean in here. We've got 4 Years Strong and the Wonder Years, Man Overboard, Bury Tomorrow, Yashin, Fireworks. I love that.
Very well curated in terms of the stages, I want to say.
Yeah, listen, you don't have to like it, but you've got to respect All Time Low in, what is this, 2013?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Christ. Great booking.
You don't have to respect All Time Low now, though.
I don't respect them even a tiny bit. I respected the Slam Dunk bookers for that at the time.
You look at that, like 4 Years Strong,
Yeah.
Wonder Years,
4
Story
Years
So
Strong
Far,
was-
and that one, Pierce the Veil, Memphis May Fire, Bury Tomorrow, Word Alive
Give me
on
a
there.
ticket.
Cancer
now.
Bats on like there's
That
so many here you keep
The
looking at.
monster stage is nuts.
I think-
main stage is like there's so much like UK scene bands there.
Sleeping Sirens on there as well.
I forget that Death Havana were that big.
Mm.
Death Havana, Kids and Glass Houses, We Are the Ocean, Mallory Knox. Unreal.
I think we're looking at an A tier here, fellas.
I think we're looking at an A tier as well.
I think it is an A.
Easy.
Slam Dunk had 2 very good back-to-back years there. 2014.
Oh.
Go on.
The All-American Rejects.
Mm-hmm.
Let Live. Kids in Glass Houses. Early Neck Deep. Fucking Modern Baseball.
State Champs.
I know we're just naming bands, but this is brilliant. This is brilliant.
The Ghost Inside, Bury Tomorrow, Devil Wears Prada.
And again, the stages are curated so well here.
Also, Modern Baseball being that low down in the lineup just shows that they really weren't appreciated. So
Sorry, I just saw advance tickets for £35. I genuinely...
Bargain.
bargain.
And again, we've got a Slam Dunk Scotland and Slam Dunk Wales as well. Back-to-back A tier?
I think we're
think
3
it might be
A's in a
another
row
A.
at this point. They had a streak here of 2014. Absolutely banged it.
I feel like this is sort of... we're approaching the peak of Warped Tour here.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the UK did get its own Warped Tour, but Slam Dunk, I always felt like Slam Dunk was the UK's Warped Tour. So I feel like the momentum is really building.
Yeah.
Core
Now,
blimey.
This is
This
the first slam dunk that myself and James went to.
Yes, it was.
In 2015.
Oh my goodness.
And the main draws for me to get there was the bulk of that main stage. We Are the Ocean, Neck Deep, Lower Than Atlantis, Don Broco, all back to back. I think the main draw for James was probably Welsh
Monster.
Sleeps and Architects on that monster
Yep,
stage.
Beartooth on there. This is where I mentioned before I saw Crossface for the first time and really enjoyed the set. Need to go back and listen to them.
Yeah.
Then you look down here.
This is the first time I saw Knucklepuck.
As
First
it
time I
is.
saw Rome. First time I saw the Wonder Years, believe it or not.
I mean, fantastic. Then you've got
The
Gallows. You've got
Impericon stage is ridiculous.
Gallows, Comeback Kid. I remember seeing Stick to Your Guns. I remember you taking
Yeah.
me to go and see them, and that was like in an indoor
Yeah,
section,
we
wasn't it?
saw Being as an Ocean as well. They were the
Yep.
first band we saw
Trash
that
Talk,
day.
Being as an Ocean, Stitch Your Guns, H2O, Comeback Kid, Gallows.
But guys, I think we can be bold here at this point and go with S tier.
This is the best one yet.
This is the best year so far,
Yeah.
which wonderfully was the first year
Loved
that we
it.
went.
I had a fucking English lit exam, that's why I couldn't go.
That's so not lit.
I know. Bullshit.
Slam Dunk 2015.
This Wildlife and Seaway as well. Oh,
2016.
We didn't go to this one.
We did not go to this one.
Was it because of the lineup?
I think it's
Let's
because
see.
of the lineup. We returned in 2017, I believe.
Yeah, I went to 2000 Trees this year, probably instead.
So on here, the main ones that are coming through, usually with me with heavy stage, would be like An Of Mice and Men. You've got Issues, Amity, Memphis May Fire, North Lane, Miss May. You've got all of these big bands in here, but then again, Story So Far, 4 Year Strong.
Yeah,
As it is, you're getting your
where
pop
I'd
punk
be at that
staples
day.
coming through. Nothing particular for me at the main stage would get me there, if I'm honest.
I think really, a lot of that for me is that Story So Far stage.
Again, Eated,
Just
Cancer Bats,
a little bit
Hacktivist,
on
Heart of
there,
a
yeah.
Coward, Narwolves. A lot of kind of iconic bands that have played there many times before.
Shikari Sound System.
It's a good
This
lineup.
is good. This is very
but
good.
I think
We have taken that step back a little bit.
I think we're B.
I'm comfortable with that being a B tier. This is when we went back.
We went back.
And I
because
remember...
Who could resist the return of Enter Shikari Take to the Skies 10-year celebration? I certainly couldn't.
My selling
No, I
point
loved it.
was I remember being like, I think it's a 40 quid ticket and it was worth it to go and see. Definitely it was Neck Deep. I want to say Beartooth are there somewhere as well.
They were on the main stage. We'd seen them a few times in like O2 academies and things,
Yeah.
and this was the first time we saw them in an arena, I guess.
Yeah, like that indoor bit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I
Because this was
remember-
we'd been to South before. And we went to Midlands with this.
We did,
one,
and I
it was a really
remember-
great time.
Queuing up to get merch, and Boston Manor were playing on an inside area.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of great bands on here, to be honest.
I'm trying to think who I would have
Stray.
seen throughout the day.
This is just crazy.
I Prevail, Ocean's 8 Alaska. I remember going to see Ocean's 8 Alaska, and that's where I discovered them. You've got Casey down here as well.
I believe the secret special guest was Frank Carr and the Rattlesnakes. I distinctly remember really wanting to see Casey, but having to leave them to see someone else on another stage. But I can't remember who I saw instead.
I'd be
real
comfortable
ones
going back
remember.
to S tier for this.
Like Pacific and Trophy Eyes as well is awesome.
Mhm.
Love that.
S?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing Boston Manor here as well. They were playing in like that stage was set up
Indoors.
in like the foyer area of the arena.
Because that's where I was at. I was getting merch at that point.
Yeah.
I remember you being like, right, you're doing that.
And I
I'm
remember
going over there.
I remember the floor being really slippy.
Mm.
We saw Straight from the Path there as well. Again, I do miss when Slam Dunk was in like a car park.
Yeah. That or like the
That was so
Hatfield
good.
Uni. It just felt like
Yeah.
it had just a certain energy. Still great now, but...
£44 for a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
S tier?
S tier, easy.
Yeah.
2018.
But Frank Carr wasn't the special guest on the previous one. It was this year where it was. And yeah, I went to Midlands again.
Sleeping with Sirens.
Long live Slam Dunk Midlands.
State champs. 4 Year Strong. Knuckle Puck. Creeper.
I remember seeing Trash Boat at this one, and the like area where that stage was in was so full that they had to just close it off. And they couldn't let anyone in. Luckily, we made it in just in time to see them, and they were great. They're one of the bands of the day. Knuckle Puck and 4 Year Strong in an arena as well.
I think previous lineups have
Also,
been better slightly.
really nice poster layout.
Yes.
Really
Yes.
clean.
They have, as time
Like-
has gone on, they've got better with their posters.
Yeah, and like pop art style as well.
Mm.
Big fan.
Where are you thinking?
I don't think it was quite S.
That's A tier.
I think it's A tier.
I think the headliners let it down.
Mm-hmm.
I really like. I don't know.
Those
I think they're both great bands, but I don't love either of them. I stuck around for Jimmy Eat World to see a bit of them because they've got a few bops that I really like. But if it's a personal ranking for me, I think it brings it down to A.
Yeah, that's
Agreed. Right, here we go.
Are we thinking too
2019.
seriously about this?
Nah.
Okay, now I've got an issue here.
Go on.
We're in the year of the Lord 2019, and you're booking All Time Low as a headliner. That's not on.
Were they done at that point?
They were shit at that point.
Yeah.
That's for sure. The rest of the lineup, it is fantastic. Glassjaw, Gallows,
That stage is nuts.
Cancer Bats, Turnstile, Knock Loose, Angel Dust. Are you joking me?
That's mad.
That stage alone would be S tier.
Bullet, Atreyu, Wage War, Plotting You.
Do you know what this highlights to me? Is how good fucking Prestamika
Kubla Khan.
completely threw my train of thought off there.
Tell you what, the Dicky stage is pretty tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Menzingers, Touche Amore, Get Up Kids, Tiger's Jaw, Tiny Moving Parts.
Milk Teeth.
Then you
Trophy
look at
Eyes and
Monster.
Seaway.
Neck Deep, Boston Manor.
It's good.
I think the
But,
best.
go on.
This is where Slam Dunk excels. Is actually the undercard. The headline of Slam Dunk, I don't think really matters. It's the undercard and it's the showcase of the scene that I think is what makes this
I think
festival
the whole appeal of Slam Dunk, in my opinion, is how many
day.
bands can you see in a day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that strong though.
Do you know what?
No. Personally.
I would make the argument for an A tier.
I think that's A tier as well. I think that
disagree?
rules.
I'm fine. I would have said B personally, but I'm fine with it going in A.
2019 an A tier. God, we're getting to recent. Right.
2021.
Obviously, world shut down. We come back in 2021. This was our first festival out of the pandemic. So I have
my first Slam Dunk.
your
memories.
first Slam Dunk. A lot of fond memories of this. Our first ever festival vlog, which you can go and watch on the channel now. I distinctly remember the Bury Tomorrow into While She Sleeps with the two different stages either side of each other. And that's where I discovered Bury Tomorrow. The sleep set I remember being incredible. Stray, Comeback Kid, Malev, Loathe. I remember watching Loathe. Blood's Youth, Hacktivist on there. Then you're looking as you go up. You've got Broker making their first headline appearance. You've got State Champs on there. I think that might be when we started our State Champs tradition of You on My Shoulders.
Yes.
This feels like a really consistent lineup.
Yeah.
I think I look at that Jägermeister stage, and apart from that top three, I think you could put the rest of those bands in any order,
Yeah.
True.
and
Yeah.
like you couldn't argue.
Was this the year where we missed? This was that geezer's last show at Blood Youth and we missed it.
Geezer.
It was Kea.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Apologies, Kay. I forgot your name. Great lineup. Did I watch Funeral for a Friend that year?
Static Dress.
This was good, but it wasn't great. But it's good. But it's not great.
So where would you place it?
B tier.
B tier?
That's a B tier if ever I've seen it.
There's a couple of sets from here that I have really fond memories of.
Same.
I remember it being a really warm day, seeing State Champs in the sunshine was like lovely.
Yeah.
Does the joy of it being one of the first ones back out the pandemic give it a little bump?
I think it does.
Oh,
But-
bump it up to 8.
Well, no, not in terms of our ranking.
No.
I think in terms of my enjoyment of it, it did.
Yeah.
But if we're ranking based on the lineup,
B.
B.
2022. Now, a lot of fantastic bands on here. Sum 41.
I remember
Beartooth.
living at the rock scene stage for the whole day for this because Kenny Hoopla was sick. Knuckle Puck were great. The Wonder Years played an anniversary show for Suburbia and the Upsides. So they played like a 2-hour set, which obviously I fucking lapped up. Loved that. The Story So Far, was good to have them come back. And Neck Deep headlining a stage for the first time. Didn't really venture anywhere else to the other stages, but there's still plenty on here that I would have seen if I wasn't busy there. Like Mum Jeans and Hot Mulligan on the Key Club stage. You got Deaf Havana over on that other stage as well. Beartooth, bringing the fire, if I recall. I recall because I saw it from a distance.
Yep. My first time seeing Electric Callboy. My first time seeing Counterparts. Maybe my first time seeing Amity as well. Caskets on there. I think there's a lot of great bands. I don't think it's one of the best.
No.
But I
agree.
think it's a really, really solid lineup. I feel it's a B. It's
I
got to be
think
at least a B.
For me personally, the strength of the rock scene stage means it has to be at least a B.
I'll take B. Yeah. 2023.
2023. Now, I just remember literally living at the Knotfest stage. Loathe in particular, Fit for a King, where I first discovered Landmarks. You got Static Dress on there, Sea Space Cowboy, Harriet. Did venture off a little bit. I remember seeing Holding Absence and Trash Boat in particular at the main stage. Your Enter Shikari headline set.
Yep, banging headline set. I loved it. I will say, main stage is pretty weak.
Yep.
Obviously, love Holding Absence, love Trash Boat, but the names from then up to Enter Shikari, not really doing much for me. Obviously, the return of Kids in Glass Houses are good fun, but not one of my favourites. 4 Year Strong are awesome. Crank Stage is good.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
Mm-hmm.
This holds a special place in my heart this year for my favourite all-time Slam Dunk set.
Which was?
The main, if you can believe it. The most fun I've ever had watching a band, I think.
It was also the year where everyone died of heat stroke because no one could get a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That
And
did
no
happen.
one could eat anything, and I missed like 3 bands I wanted to see. But we're ranking the lineup rather than the
Yeah.
year itself.
If we were ranking car parks, this would be the worst one.
I like this.
It's a great lineup.
I think an A tier lineup. You seem surprised by that.
Are we being for real?
Main stage lets it down.
And
massively.
the Dicky stage lets it down.
You think?
Yeah, boy.
Maybe I'm just being skewed by my nostalgia.
Yeah, B tier for me.
Yeah, I think it's still
B tier.
Still B.
2023 in the B tier then.
I think the Knotfest lineup's great. The Knotfest stages are awesome.
Mhm. It was.
Half of the Krang tent is great.
Right, now to last year.
The final
2024. We'll talk about this year as well.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we'll include this.
Oh, yeah, the full lineup's out, innit?
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah,
Duh.
full lineups out. Yeah, go on, Ali.
This is everything I want in a Slam Dunk lineup. Old, new, nostalgic, up and coming, scene legends, exclusive sets, reunions, album anniversaries.
This is everything I want in a Slam Dunk lineup. The Wonder Years.
Just that.
And I'm there.
I think this is great. This is that, whatever stage that was, I'm currently pointing to the one that has the Wonder Years mum jeans and that on it, is a bonkers collection of bands.
Yeah.
Beauty School and Arms
Again,
Length,
that's where I found myself
Guilt
spending
Trip.
most of my day.
One Step Closer, H2O and Stitch Your Guns. What are they doing? But I respect how chaotic that stage is booked. The Kerrang, I believe that was the Kerrang tent. Do you remember that Bob Villain drama with Pale Waves? That was fun, wasn't it?
State Champs.
State Champs, Finer Things in Full. You joking me?
A return of the Blackout, a band that have featured on these lineups, a hell of a lot.
Personally, there were definitely like a lot of bands I wanted to see, but I still think there's been stronger lineups. In my opinion. So for me personally, I would look at like a B tier.
This is S for me.
Oh, I'm meeting in the middle of the A.
Ooh.
Okay,
I think this is a really good lineup.
we can do
Should
that.
we just go with A then?
That balances it between the three of us.
Also, amazing poster design.
Yeah,
I really
Great
like
design.
very good design, and that brings us to this year. That brings us to 2025.
it. Is it the most stacked Slam Dunk lineup of all time?
I think potentially yes.
I think it
Might be the most definitive Slam Dunk of all time.
I mean, this is, as we mentioned recently on the Slam Dunk preview, the first time we've had a Day to Remember headline. It feels like it's been owed
Well,
for
yeah.
quite a
now,
lot of time.
now
They've been
people can
predicted
stop
every
tweeting it
year.
every single year.
Mm.
When are Daytona going to headline?
Then you've got bands that have played for years in really nice big logo spots. You've got the Alkaline Trio, Electric Callboy, Neck Deep, Newfound Glory, The Used, who kind of the staples of Slam Dunk. And then you've got so many great new bands that are in here as well.
Like I said, a celebration of old, new, up and coming, the best of the UK scene, the best of what's coming in overseas, a good amount of nostalgia without being too caught in the past. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. This one?
Mm-hmm. Where would we place this on our tier list?
S.
S.
S. I'm happy with that.
No hesitation.
I'm very happy with that. It's a stacked lineup. As soon as we saw the announcements coming out, I remember watching the video with it and just be like, oh, they're there. They're there. Oh, down there. It's one of those immediately. It's like you kind of have to be there. It's such a great lineup, and there's such great diversity. And like you said, it's got a great balance between the old and the new.
All it's missing is the Wonder Years and Beauty School.
Is that all? Yeah.
Yeah.
Banging. I'm very happy with those placements. I think nailed it.
I think we've done well there. But I'm sure the people watching and listening will let us know if we've got it wrong. Where would you put those? What's your favourite Slam Dunk lineup ever?
Let us know.
If you like the look of this year's Slam Dunk lineup, you can hear what it sounds like in the playlist in the description below. But that's not the only music we're going to recommend. We've got Ragamuffin FM, a playlist of 15 songs we update every episode with what we're loving now. But we're going to give a little spotlight to one song each right now, just for you.
I'm going to go for a song from the new Pup album, Best Revenge. I'd mentioned when I reviewed it, it's like just been stuck in my head. And I think I'll take that melody to my grave. So I'm going to get it stuck in all your heads now.
What a surprise, Requiem, Landmarks. It's just so fucking good.
I'm going to go for the opening track of 156 Silence's album, People Watching, and its character development. This album's a fucking rager, and this is one of the coolest ways to open an album, I think. So, listen to it.
Check out that link for Ragamuffin FM in that description below, as well as that Slam Dunk playlist.
Don't forget, we've got plenty of festival vlogs from years gone by. Slam Dunk, Download, Trees, Burn It Down, Takedown. If you want to see it, we've probably done it. Check them all out, probably in the description below or just on the channel. Go find it yourself. What else have we got going on?
We've got the Ragamuffin Club. It's our Facebook community. We just love talking about music with everyone, and sometimes the YouTube comment section just doesn't make it as easy. And so it means we can just talk about all kinds of things. Festivals, new music, what gigs we're going to, any other random things, memes. Just join the Ragamuffin Club. It's free. It's a lovely community. And we want to hear from you.
And last things last, if you want to get your hands on any of the music we talked about in this episode or anything coming up, you want to go to truckmusic.store. Thanks as always to our wonderful hosts for having us. And I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
Subscribe.
For another episode. What the fuck? 2 weeks?
Press that red button. Subscribe, please.
Press that red button.
Always press
Like
the
an
red
old
button.
like an old TV.
Always press the red button.